Hi guys, it is Fontaine Felicia Foxworth, and I'm trying to catch this light, y'all, so that I'm not blinded. Okay, it's a little glare. Okay, so this video is about the 8 signs that you might be plugged into a false light spiritual leader or guru, online on social media. I know I had mentioned it in my last video, and so these are just the 8 signs that I have found that has helped me figure it out, recently, putting 2 and 2 together recently. And so, take everything with a grain of salt. It's very important, first and foremost. Of course, you have your knowledge, but our intuition is our highest truth. So, make sure that you use your intuitive discernment when trying to figure out, what's going on with some of these people. Okay? Again, I just want to remind you of what I feel about some of these false light teachers. One, I feel, on one hand, some of them are speaking truth and tapping into truth, and they're woke, but they are kind of stuck in a disassociated state of one part of the ascension spectrum. So what I mean by that is I believe that one part of them are just kind of stuck in an enlightenment or like bliss, or, and that happens along this journey. We all get there where we're just like, there's no separation, there's just oneness, and it just feels so good. But what happens when you get stuck there, then that's the only thing you start to relate to people who watch you, and that's not the only thing. There is a balance of the left and the right brain. There is a balance of the divine feminine and masculine. That's what this whole Kundalini awakening thing is about, finding that balance. So some of these leaders are just very far gone in that sense. On the second hand, some of these leaders are evolved muggles or matrix pawns, and I really believe that they are tapped in just enough to still have a hold of their ego. It has not fully dissolved yet, and they're using that for capitalistic and selfish gain. Straight up. So here are my 8 reasons or 8 signs that's what you might be following. Number 1, flashy, catchy graphics and catchphrases. Now when I say this, I mean just kind of like these handcrafted or copy edited, like big, I don't know, okay, for instance, I've seen one recently where it says, "You came to Earth to drop the mic." I'm not going to say who it is, you know what I mean, but it was a nice graphic of a mic that was like dropped on the floor, and it kind of, you can see like the 3D editing, compositing, the crack in the floor, and I'm just like, what is this? Beyonce Awaken Edition? No, this is not about, and on what the caption said was just like, So a lot of these new age people have these flashy, catchy, gimmicky graphics and catchphrases, and if it feels over the top, it might be. You know what I mean? People have to have their businesses, and people have to make sure that they're distinguishable. But when you have these big over-the-top, flashy, composited, photoshopped graphics, that looks like a cool advertisement or something, I don't think that's what light work is truly about. So that's that. Number 2, they focus on or highlight celebrities in the political scene too much. Unless, in my opinion, unless there is a profound reason for like focusing on a celebrity, like someone who was awakened and maybe passed and commit suicide, and talking about the void they might have been in, that's one thing. But when you talk about why Nicki Minaj and Cardi B is going at it on a soul level, I don't know about all that. In the scheme of things, it does not matter. Celebrity is also another construct. It does not matter. So if you have a spiritual leader who's focusing on celebrity, that's a shoo-in. As well as the political scene. We all know that if you have someone telling people to, make sure that you vote they're still kind of plugged into the idea that that matters, you know. So I really don't trust that. Number 3, the price gouging and the inflated prices. Come on, y'all. Who got $500 for 30 minutes? I don't, you know, like I'm not in a broke mindset, but I'm not about to pay no $500 for no 30 minutes, especially when I can go within and find someone who truly feels like a healer and not an MC, you know. That's just incredibly too much. So if the price feels over the top, y'all, and you're just like, well, why is it that much money? I'm sorry, that's something that is a capitalistic thing. You know, these people are making 6 figures for healing. 6 figure. Next. Number 4, it feels like you're watching a seminar or an infomercial, maybe like an influencer brand. If you're sitting there and you feel like you about to purchase something online, you know, call in, that type of thing. To me, I don't know, y'all. I just feel like that just seems very, very 3D and very, very matrixy. Be real. We're going to get to that part. So if it feels like you're watching an infomercial or someone's trying to sell you something or like one of those like, be your best you, that type of thing, I don't think that's real. Number 5, specific dates. There's one thing to have things line up numerically or line up with the calendar or astrology. That's one, you know, so like, 1111 portal, the Lionsgate portal, all that stuff I believe is real. But when you have an obscure on April 6th, 2021, there's going to be a collapse of linear time. Like, who told you that, sis? Who did you channel that from? I don't know about that. If time is linear, if time exists in multiple timelines and it transcends, the galactics are not too worried about a specific date on our map. I mean, on our calendar, excuse me. Are they? Are they aware? Do they even care? Aren't they infinite? So how are you giving me a specific time and date if it's not connected to something astrally or planetary or, you know? I don't know. Could be me, but I just don't think, it just seems weird. I'm not going to believe someone that just popped the time out of their butt. No. Okay, so specific dates. And also people who say, I was told to withhold this from you. I was shown this, and my guides told me that I couldn't share this. So then why don't you just wait till your guides tell you to share it? I don't understand. Like, don't make it seem like, to me, that's having people hanging on something. Like, be real and upfront. If people need to hear something, use your discernment. You use your discretion if you think something is too much for somebody. Don't tell somebody who's just waking up about what it means to be a starseed. Then you're gonna blow their mind. But in that sense, but this, I was told to withhold this or not share this. I have to. Sis, stop it. Okay, number 6. Someone who is overly concerned about what's happening galactically, like the color of the clouds and the I mean, on some point that's very important, what's happening on the higher realms, but we cannot forget that we still have these vessels, these very human bodies and vessels. And I feel that they're less concerned with the emotional, real-time shit that we're going through, you know, our circumstantial situations, and you can't be all up in the sky. You have to bring it down. If they're just concerned about what's happening in the higher realms, that's a red flag, man. Got to be balanced again with that balance. Okay, so number 7, disassociation from reality or emotions. When certain spiritual leaders are unable to connect on a very human-to-human level, because we are still human beings. We might be multi-dimensional, but we're human beings. Unable to connect to the vulnerability, the transparency, to the pain. Okay, so number 7 was disassociation from reality. I feel like I can trust you more if you are speaking to my pain and my vulnerability and what I'm going through in real time. A lot of these false light leaders, you never see them have a moment where they just broke down or stumped or just, you just never see that, okay? And lastly, number 8, they focus on our new multidimensional abilities, and more than they focus on like that stuff instead of focusing on helping guide people through, awakening people through ego death, awakening people through inner childhood wounds, and familial and ancestral and galactic timelines that need to collapse, struggle and lack. A lot of them make so much money, they're not struggling externally. How can you relate to me, who as a healer, a lot of healers and light workers don't have a lot of money? This is not a big buck business, I truly believe that if your purpose is to be a light worker or a teacher, I feel that you will do that. But that's not how your bread and butter gonna come. I really feel like your bread and butter will come from the skills and talents and gifts that you were blessed with. I'm a writer. I'm a model. I'm an actress. I love to dance. I got a few bars so I can rap a little bit. You know what I mean? So whatever the case, I really do feel that my light work, our light work, part of that is just your beingness, your being here. We hold these unique light codes. So just your existence is crucial. That is part of your light work. Not selling $500 sessions, y'all. So, or making people think that we're supposed to just fly into a new realm one day out of nowhere. That's, it's called New Earth because the Earth is still going to be here. The frequency and vibration will be higher. We're not going to be beamed out the sky onto a new planet somewhere. That's just not how it works. And I really do feel that way. So those are my 8 signs: the flashy graphics, the catchphrases, the catchiness of it all, focusing on celebrities. Don't nobody care about what Cardi B and Nicki is doing. They're rich, okay? Highlighting the politics too much, because that in itself is falling and is a huge illusion and construct. Price gouging their prices, say no more. Feels like an infomercial, a seminar. Specific dates that have nothing to do with like the planets or like, the Mayan calendar and stuff like that. Overly concerned about what's happening galactically and in the higher realms, and less concerned about the emotional, human, circumstantial aspects of this process. A feeling of being disassociated from reality, not able to express vulnerability in real time, in real time to our shifts, because if we're all going through this at the same time, unless you've been here before during the times of Atlantis and you done figured that out and that, then you would seem disconnected from the pain. And then lastly, number 8, the focus on the new cool multidimensional talents, and abilities. That's all important. The telepathy and the astral plane projection, and that's all very important. But we need to have that groundedness still, and people will need to help us through all the ego death, dissolution, what to do when you can't work a regular job no more. I'm going to do a video about that, about getting back into the workforce if you had to step away from what you did before, from a new perspective and from a higher place. Everything changes, y'all. So yes, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm sorry for this glare, but my highlight is on fleek though, right, y'all? Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Much love, y'all.